Okay, so the budget was today, and they made announcements that apparently they're going to reduce welfare cuts even further. And yeah, it's just really the stupidest thing that you could do. I mean, they're projecting that by 2020, the GDP versus debt ratio will be 90% debt for the country against the GDP, and they're going to cut taxes to the rich people. They're going to cut inheritance tax and all things like that, whilst affecting the lower people. Now, the smart way to do anything about it would actually be to change employment rules, get rid of 0 hours contracts, all this flexible shit. I know someone who's doing 1 hour per week, per day, 7 days a week. And it takes them about 45 minutes to get into work. So they're travelling more than they're working every single day. Now, they've got partner who, pays the bills and all that, so it's not like they're trying to support themselves and live off that. But in terms of single people and living standards, it makes it impossible. You need a certain amount of hours to pay your rent, to pay your bills, to pay food and travel and everything. But the government are doing nothing about that. They just don't care. They're still not doing anything about 0 hours contracts because, the big threat that 0 hours contracts that's gone everywhere. It's like, no, they don't care. What they could do is revise employment laws so a fixed percentage of non-management, non-supervisory roles are full-time. So say outside of management and supervisory positions in regular jobs that employers have to employ 25% full-time, then let's give them 50% part-time with, say, 16 hours guarantees per week. And then, these are the minimum. But, then if you give minimum part-time, then it overwrites full-time. So let's just stick at 25% full-time per week. Of all the positions you offer, you have to have at least 25% of them be full-time positions. And then people will get the jobs. And, then outside of that, you can hire some part-time, you can hire some flexi 0 hour contracts where some weeks they might do 40, some weeks they'll do 0 hours. And the majority of the weeks they'll just get 8 hours and you can't live off that. So, but the government's still doing nothing about it. And with these welfare cuts, it will mean that the government do their old bullshit again, where they lose housing applications, they request proofs that they don't require. I've been through all this shit. I know the shit that they pull. They'll delay benefits for 9+ months illegally. They'll just withhold them, and they won't pay them until after your home's been repossessed. They will wait till the very date your home's been repossessed and then be like, "Oh, we paid some now." They'll pay that very date and they'll withhold it. Even though they should have been paying it, even though you've done everything you can, emailing them, visiting the offices, filling in fresh benefit applications, they will still withhold them. And it's like, why aren't you paying it? Why aren't you paying it? I'm going to leave the home because of this. So they made me homeless. It's not homeless prevention. And then the compensation will be £250. And then £150 for losing a housing application with your driver's license. So that's £400 total benefits. Compensation for 5 years of bullshit. I mean, it's ridiculous. For 9 months of making me homeless, there was £250 compensation they offered, not even paying the benefits that they should have paid for the housing benefits, not even paying all the lost benefits, not even rehoming me. Rehoming me took 4 years after that. And it's like, no, that £250 is not right for that much bullshit and how much you ruined my life. And suicide attempts and all that bullshit, and stress and high blood pressure and all the bullshit that I shouldn't have had to deal with. So, yeah. And then £150 for one of the 6 applications that they lost just because it had my driver's license in it. And it's like, they lost housing application after housing application after housing application. It's like, fucking bullshit. And 3 months between each housing application, and then it's like, oh, fuck's sake. And then they finally take one, and then it takes them another 2 years before they even do anything. It's like, fuck's sake. And it's like, the compensation offered is utter bullshit for all of the shit that they've put me through, ruining my life. And still utter bullshit. So I lost 4 years of my life homeless, and 9+ months of really, really stressful situations where, they were illegally withholding my benefits, and then couple of months where the home had been repossessed and I was being expected to kicked out at any point, and that just flew by because I was in completely shut off catatonic state at that point. It's not good. So yeah, I mean, not good at all. And £400 for all that bullshit? I think not. Just to save money on the deficit that they're not even going to clear by 2020. They're never going to clear the deficit by 2020. And they've established that on Daily Politics today. And, yes, that's where the 90% GDP debt also came from. And, if they're not even going to do that, then it's also bullshit that all this austerity and all this shit continues. And not only continues, it's been extended, and it clearly does not work. And they just think that they can get away with it. And post-truth future, but I mean, what's post-truth? It's, Theresa May saying, oh, well, we'll do more for the poor people, and then, more to cut them off and more to reduce the amount of money they have, because you're cutting the taxes and the ESA and everything, and benefits and the welfare budget and everything that would help the poorest. Okay, so the battery just ran out, but they're getting some weird electrical buzzing from the camcorder as I just pressed record. Thankfully it's not the high-pitched whine that just when you open it, otherwise I had to close it and send it off, but if it cuts out again, I will. Right, post-truth Britain, all that bullshit. What the fuck are they thinking? Truth? Post-truth, not truth. It's like, no, we're not post-truth Britain. We're just not bullshit and lies anymore. We talk about things, if something doesn't get withheld, because we could spend it on this, we could do this and that, but they don't actually do it. We hold them to account. That's not post-truth. That's just not bullshit, not neurolinguistic programming, not on double speak. We're more straight-talking society now. Straight-talking people are taking over and holding you to account if you don't do what you say. So that's what we are. We're not post-truth and all this other bullshit. No, that's not what it is. It's like, if the mainstream media won't report on these things, social media will, and normal people will. So yeah, we will hold you to account if you don't do what you say. And when you use double talk and don't actually do what you promise, then you will be held to account. It's not post-truth. It's actual truth, We want no bullshit, no lies, no side speak, no double talk. Just normal, straightforward talk. And if you can hear woo every now and again, Crazy Lady's upstairs is back. It's weird. Does she have night terrors in the day? Because I think she sleeps in the day, because at 4 a.m, 3 and 4 a.m, there's always very loud phone calls that she has that wakes me up in the middle of the night, and it's like, what the fuck, lady, go to sleep. I mean, you can't be having these phone calls in the middle of the night. It's not right. And sometimes she just leaves the phone to ring with the most annoying sort of noise. That's her ringtone, just over and over again. It's like, just answer the fucking phone. It's like, and even then when she does answer the phone, you get woke up by very loud, and it's like, just go to sleep. You're in the UK now. I mean, I'm not being horrible, just at 3 and 4 a.m, very loud phone calls. Not right. Not right at all. There's more reasonable hours you could be taking these phone calls if you are calling other countries. Just saying, it's not right to be doing it very slap bang in the middle of the night. And so, it's like, post-truth. We're not post-truth. We're just holding you to account if you don't do what you say. We are making sure the government do what they say and claim they're going to do, and if not, we'll report on it. And, all this bullshit reforms. It's like, you're not doing it for the poorer people, you're doing it for the rich people. You're cutting taxes for the richer people while you're screwing over the poorer people even more, and you're still not even going to clear the deficit. Now you've put, it doesn't matter, no date on it, because you're not being held to account by Europe, because you're leaving Europe at any means possible. Brexit means Brexit, means just leaving the EU, not necessarily negotiating a good deal. not even doing what you said on the referendum were the things you were going to do. Absolutely nothing that the Leave campaign campaigned for is going to be done. It's just, no, we voted to leave, we're leaving at whatever cost. Hey, doesn't matter if we're not living up to anything we promised. So yeah, slim majority, like 2%. Yeah, that's the whole country now, apparently. No, it's not. It's like, Jesus Christ, you're just going to screw up the country for the sake of screwing up because, hey, you voted for it. It's like, well, I mean, maybe you should have had a bit of common sense and known that they weren't going to do that. Like I said, in the whole thing, it's obvious that they weren't going to do it, and they're not going to do anything about immigration and everything and all the jobs and all this. And that's the other thing as well. They're like, oh, isn't it so good that all these people come abroad to work for these jobs where there's seasonal work, where no guaranteed hours? Maybe you should just reform the system entirely, provide jobs, provide welfare. And, if you made sure that you provided welfare for the rest of the year where there isn't work, someone could perhaps take a summer job, while there's a summer job and the hours there, they could take that, as long as you're not going to screw them over for the rest of the year and illegally withhold benefits for 9+ months and make them homeless. If you could guarantee, if they can't find work for the rest of the year, as long as they do the summer job, they're not on benefits for part of the summer job, it solves the problem to a degree. It's not the most sensible way of doing it, but if there's only work for the summer, then I guess, it's at least something. You're saving money on the benefits and welfare system that way. But instead they want to do it the horrible way and just screw everyone over entirely and not think of actual ways they could reform the system and make it work for people who want to work, but there just isn't the jobs going out there for it, because essentially you're narrowing the margin for the jobs that they can take to something where there's enough all year round to pay the bills and to be able to afford to live off. If you could reform the system so it would work for people with these 0-hour contracts or, no guaranteed work, so that when there isn't the guaranteed work, that they still have a roof over their head and they can still afford to pay the bills, because a lot of the time in events work and, freelance and 0 hours, because freelance is 0 hours essentially. You're not hired by the company, you're a freelancer by legal terms. But yeah, when there's 0 hours for the week, then, full benefits and full housing benefits. And then when they get work, then, obviously it gets reformed. But they're not going to do that. They just don't think about the system in that way. Because, one single weekend working at a festival, and oh look, your benefits are withheld for 9 months. And it's like, well, they said that I could do that so that I'd have an up-to-date reference that would help get jobs. But no, they want 5 wage slips from a single weekend of work, which is impossible. And it's like, just fix the system so that it would work. Then people could look for work and take work where it's available. And if they haven't got hours for the week, then you pay them full benefits. And if they've had hours for the week, then a sliding scale. But yeah, it's laughable that the DWP would do that. I mean, look at the DWP as well. It's short-staffed, yet they're not hiring people. The job centre that wants to hire people, they want people to get jobs, but the DWP itself won't hire people. The job centre won't hire people. It's like, if you're short-staffed and constantly complaining that you're short-staffed, like my job centre manager is, then hire people and take people on. Because these people that are going looking for work, I mean, they're looking for enough hours to work constant all year round. Hire some of them, maybe. It might help, I mean, I'd take the job if it's got enough hours, but no, they're not even looking for work. They just want to cut the number of employees they have. They want to cut the number of claimants they have. They just want to cut all the welfare. And because they're cutting the welfare budget, the councils will start doing the illegal tactics again, like losing the things, because if they lose the post, then they don't even have to process it. So, if they're close to the budget, they're just going to suddenly burn or, destroy the rest of the incoming applications. And, well, nope, we didn't get it. It's like, well, yeah, that's just the dodgiest way of avoiding it, because you're coming close to your budget. So, I can guarantee they're doing something, because the amount of applications that they lost to mine and the amount of proofs that were unnecessary that were requested, it's just delaying and losing things just so they can stay within their budgets. So, it was in the papers years and years ago, but now mainstream media won't cover it. I don't know why, but hey, Anyway, I'm going to cut it short before my battery runs out again because I only charged it a little. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.